Alright, so what's going on, everybody? So I just got asked a question on here about, getting your own authority and filing for your DOT and blah, blah, blah. And, there's tons of videos out there about this. This is not a very hard process at all. In fact, the, it's so stupid easy that don't go out and pay one of these fly-by-night companies to file all your forms and everything. I can't remember exactly how long it was when I filed mine, about 2 years ago now. I think it took maximum like 30 minutes to file for my DOT DOTMC number. And when I did it though, I was filing for to become a broker. And when you become a broker, it's not that it's any different. You're just filling out a different number of questions and whatnot. And actually, it takes a little bit more time to do the broker stuff, because while you're having a DOT number, that's only an identifier. You cannot run freight on that DOT number. You cannot physically run freight on that DOT number. Now, it's the same process for truckers, brokers, and freight forwarders. They all have to go to the same place. It's FMCSA dot what is it? FMCSA dot gov, something like that. I mean, if you look at, I forget what it's like, fmcsa.gov.org or some crap. But that's where you go. If you look it up on the internet, you can find it very, very easily. You go in there and fill out everything exactly the way that they ask you the questions. Like, are you going to be hauling any kind of this merchandise, or are you going to be hauling any kind of household goods, or are you going to be operating a vehicle of this weight capacity? It's very straightforward, very simple. You can't really mess it up. And if you have questions, you can get answers right then and there. It's not hard at all. And I honestly think it took me more like 15 minutes to get it done. And there's companies out there that will charge you like $300-$400 to get this, for them to do all the paperwork for you. And there's not even really any paperwork to it. It's simple clicking and scrolling down and this is that, and type this real quick and then e-sign. And this is actually one of the very least expensive parts about getting into trucking. And a lot of people don't know that, or at least don't understand that, or fail to look into that. And the getting of your authority itself, I believe, I cannot remember correctly, but I want to say it's a $300 flat fee for the lifetime of your DOT number, as long as you maintain your insurances and everything and keep it active. Now, if you think your insurance is going to lapse, you got to go in and you have to go in and voluntarily revoke your number. And that is not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. You're just turning over the ability to do anything, which you can go back and reactivate it later if something goes awry and you have to change up the situation. But the fee is like, I know it's between $300 and $400, and boom, it's done forever, as long as you keep everything up to date and active. And if not, then you'll have to probably go back in and you're gonna have to refile some stuff and blah blah blah. But it's not a hard process to do. It's very simple paperwork. It's all done online. You can mail the forms in too, if I remember correctly, but it goes a lot quicker if you do it online. And some people may tell you from their own experiences that it could take, up to 6 to 8 weeks to get it done. I think even on the FMCSA site, they say something about 4 to 6 weeks it might take to get it processed. I'll tell you, from day one of filing it, I went off of those numbers, so I was kind of ill prepared. And I didn't have my my bond, my BMC 84 bond for brokering, which you do not need to be a truck driver, but for a broker you have to have that bond, which I can go into in a different one, so I'm not going to do it now. but I didn't have my bond ready and set up, and the FMCSA kicked my number back like boom. I had it. I think inside of 7 days, I had my number ready to go, and they said, okay, now, and this is where the issue came in, is that they said within 60 days of the receipt of this letter, you have to have your BMC 84 in place, otherwise your number's done, and you're gonna start over and refile. And I'm like, oh crap, I expected to have at least, 4 weeks. I was saying at least 30 days, to get this put together and have my bond in place. And I immediately got cut back, which it was kind of a plus and a minus all at the same time. Like, they got it done super quick, but I was not prepared for it, and that's not their fault. That was my fault. But everything fell into place and got it done, and it worked out fine. So it can take a while, and it could go really quick. It really just depends on when you file and how that goes. Now, there are other components to getting your authority that you need to know about that people don't necessarily tell you about, or you don't find out until after you've already filed, and that's your UCR registration. And there's a site for that as well, and there's people that will try and charge you along with setting up your authority and everything, that they'll try and charge you to get you to do that. And for some people, it may be easier to pay a $500-$600 fee to have this stuff done, and that's on top of your original fee. So you're getting into this about $1,200 to have somebody else do it. When you file your own authority, it's $300-$400. Your UCR registration was like $17 or something like that. And I think I actually paid someone $85 to do mine, and I found out later I didn't need to do that. And then you have to have your registered agents in every single state, and that right there is kind of you just go find a registered agent company and set that stuff up. But as far as the question went, the authority itself is not hard to get. It's not hard to file for. It's not overwhelmingly expensive. You just need to go through and do your research and get everything and all your ducks in a row before you go out and do it. Know what you have to have, so that way you're not sitting there waiting because you don't have the money to do it. In fact, I would probably prepare my truck and trailer and have everything else setting in place, ready to take action, and then file that number and get it ready to go, because you're going to have truck insurance and everything ready when you get ready to go on the road, in order to have that number activated. So there you go. That's your trucking authority, how you get your trucking authority. Go to look up the FMCSA site through a search engine or something to that effect, and you'll see it. Go to the actual FMCSA site. You'll know what it is. It will say that it is the FMCSA official, because there are poser sites that try to rake extra money off of you. And when you file for this number, be prepared. As soon as you get it, your phone's going to start blowing up. It's going to go off the freaking hook, because they let it go out into the system, and then everybody's trying to sell you something, and everybody's trying to get you on this insurance, and everybody's trying to get you onto their what is it? Their UCR registrations and their registered agent list, and these are all things you have to have. But everybody's going to call you immediately. I'm telling you, you're going to get like 10 or 20 phone calls. As soon as that number goes active, boom, buddy, it's going to be going on like crazy. But there you go. That's the plain and simple of it. And I'm sure there's other more informative videos on YouTube about how to do it exactly. But mine is a cut and dry. That's the basics in a nutshell. Look up the FMCSA .gov and go find your authority registration in their drop-down menu and everything, and bam, there you go. It's a very easy process to get through. So there you go. Have a nice day. And I just got unloaded, so I'm about ready to hit the road as soon as my break is over. And my break, I do believe it is over, and now I'm gonna hit the road. So everybody have a great day. Thanks for watching.